my god, it's the weekend. You know what that's time for? It's time for a brand new first play, Christine's Care by Winter Wolves Games. I'm your host VGLP 33, coming at you like Cleopatra as usual. Right. This is another visual novel I'm doing. We'll be playing for about an hour, and I'll switch and play something else. Yeah, here's the first part of Christine's Care for you to enjoy. This is a what's that word? What's that phrase? Labour of Love by I think Shalso Rivera, who is head of Winter Wolves Games. So yeah, he really enjoyed this one because it's so different. I don't think it's like a sim of any kind. I think it's just a bog standard basic visual novel where you just make choices, and then your choices depend, what ending you get depends on what choices you make, like a lot of visual novels do. Right, let's get on to it. Let's not talk for too long, let's get on to it. I haven't played this before, and I don't think this is up on YouTube yet, so I'm the first person doing this, I think. Customizing experience. We have shut sexual content off, fortunately. You'll have to purchase the game yourself if you want to see that. Yeah, but we will have, obviously, keep the romantic content in. It is the week after, and I will be narrating it because it's just text again, like most of the visual novels. I hate it, actually. I think they should do the voiceovers, but it depends if these little companies got the money to do that. I think it's all about money and time and yeah, a lot of things. Right, it is the week after my abrupt discovery. What am I thinking coming into work like this? I should have called in sick. No, I literally just started this job less than a week ago. If I start calling in sick now, it will affect poorly on me. I enter the office and quickly nod hello to the receptionist, not in the mood for any sort of small talk today. With haste, I step into the locker room and locate my assigned storage space near the back. Everything hurts, every single thing. My day's barely begun and I already feel drained. Come on, just get through this. No one needs to know, not now at least. Just avoid all topics that relate to your partner. Opening the locker door, I'm greeted with a colourful photograph held in place by a polar bear magnet. A reminder not only of the day Eric and I spent at the zoo together, but of the past 2 years of my life I'd spent living a lie, believing that everything was perfect, that he was perfect. Woo! I slip out my casual clothes, preparing to dress for work, but my gaze keeps drifting back to that photo. It feels like Eric is still watching me from the other side of it. I can't take it anymore. I grab the photo, trying to tear it down, but it won't come off. Why? Why won't you let go, Eric? Haven't you hurt me enough? Frustrated, I crumple the photo in my hand, the sharp noise of anger escaping me. Morning, Christine. Not really realising I was no longer alone, I nearly jumped out of my skin upon hearing my boss greet me. Jesus! It's just me, no offence, but you look like someone who could use a second cup of coffee this morning. I tried to laugh it off and pretend that it's simply a matter of needing more sleep, but it doesn't work. Instead, all that comes out of me is a failed attempt at normal expression, leaving an awkward pause sitting between the both of us. Way to go, Christine. I'm sure you didn't look crazy at all. You okay, Christine? Yeah, it's like you said, just a little tired is all. Thankfully, she doesn't press the matter any further, allowing me to proceed on to the next topic without delay. So what's on the schedule for today? Well, since you've been doing a good job keeping up with your responsibilities and everything else, I decided to let you take over Claire's patient, Hannah. Miss Hannah Hayes? Yes, now I know this is a bit sudden, but you'll be doing me a big favour here. Rumour has it that Claire needs to take some time off to help her mother, so it makes sense that Donna would temporarily transfer her clients to others in her absence. To be honest though, the news of me looking after Miss Hayes isn't exactly what I want to hear. I've never met her myself, but some of the staff occasionally talk about her, and they never fail to mention that she can be a problematic patient at times. But Donna is the head of the clinic, and doing a favour for her would go a long way for me. Plus, admittedly, I want to impress her and show my resolve. Accept the job. Alright, I'll back up and be on my way. Well, that was... I didn't expect you to accept so quickly.
Alright.
Whoop, do, 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 do. Certain choices will alter stats associated with Donna, Hannah, Marla, and Liz. These stats will shape the narrative, impacting specific scenes and ultimately determining the final outcomes. I talked to you briefly about that a few minutes ago. Don't tell anyone, but I want to impress my boss. Donna smiles at me, clearly happy about my attitude. Thank you so much, I owe you. For now, look over her file, grab whatever you need, then head on over to her home and look after her for the rest of the day. If things go well, then you'll be in charge of her until Claire comes back. Seeing the relief on Donna's face makes me forget all about my troubles at home. Although she's twice my age, I can't help but find myself thinking about her throughout the day. I will admit she is an attractive woman, and there's the fact that she's got her shit together with a private business under her belt. That definitely doesn't hurt her appeal. Stats screen. Each of the 4 main characters has unique stats associated with them. You can check the current values of these stats at any time by clicking the icon on the top right corner of the screen. How does she do it? Maybe it's only possible because she's single. Maybe that's the price one has to pay to find true success. Stop it. She's your boss, and as far as you know, she knows you're happily engaged. And as fast as I'd arrived, I'm on my way out the door. According to her file, Hannah was with us ever since she was released from hospital. She was sent into an emergency wing after surviving a car crash. Her vehicle was T-boned by someone who ran a red light. I don't know what T-boned is. The incident has left her paralysed from the waist down. Luckily, her father is able to afford the best care available to help her with her recovery. Though I can't help but notice the doctor who's in charge of her care wrote a note saying that she'll likely never walk again, even with extensive physiotherapy. That's tough. She's only a few months older than me too. I can't imagine how it feels to lose the freedom of your own 2 legs at such a young age. Her schedule will take some getting used to. I'm expected to drop by at least 4 days a week, but if I want to, I can easily rack up a decent amount of overtime. This will be good for me. It's less time I'll have to spend at the clinic with my co-workers. Time I can use to deal with my own shit on my own terms, and I won't have time to think about Eric. I can do this. I eventually pull up in front of their house, a tiny manor that lies about half an hour's drive from the city. Must be nice. The driveway, which is like a whimsical trail that leads me to think of forgotten passages, the likes of which you'd find in a children's bedtime story. I don't know what Mr. Hayes does for a living, but I'm clearly in the wrong line of work. Before long, I'm collecting my bag and approaching the front door. Whether the place has old foundations or not, I can't tell. Either way, it's a sight to behold. Then, preparing myself to leave a proper first impression, I ring the buzzer. Waiting for Miss Hayes to answer the door, I hear some faint voice from within, which I can only assume belongs to Hannah's stepmother, Mrs. Doris Hayes. My theory is quickly confirmed as the sound of approaching footsteps follows shortly after. Suddenly, the beautifully decorated door springs loose, revealing Doris herself standing before me. She seems like a nice woman, that is, until she lays her eyes on me. She's holding a glass of wine in one hand as she gazes at me with an annoyed expression on her face. You're late. My apologies, Mrs. Hayes. It's been a while since I drove around this area in the traffic. She raises her hand, cutting me off as if to silence my excuses. This is not going well. I'm not interested in your excuses, Miss Adams. You're here for one purpose and one purpose only. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Miss Hayes. Good. You may come in. I'll give you a tour of the place before I introduce you to my stepdaughter. I will warn you, she's not in a good mood this morning. Sounds like she's not a morning person. Ha. If that's the case, then she must think it's always morning. You have any kids, Miss Adams? No, I don't. Take it from me. I thought skipping the whole birthing process would make it easier. It doesn't. Dare say that being a step-parent is worse. Instead of gradual change, everything changes just like that. Miss Hayes snaps her fingers upon stating her opinion. Well, luckily you have your husband around to smooth things over. Though that may be true, it doesn't help me whenever he's gone on business. No matter, that's what you're here for. Now follow me. After my warm welcome, Miss Hayes grants me access throughout the whole rest of her lovely abode. The manner in which she does it, however, is rather perplexing to say the least. She switches from friendly to downright belittling at times. Perhaps overtime might not be the best idea after all. Her reluctant tour of the lower level continues as we travel through the kitchen, the dining area and the parlour room before she reveals her own private sanctuary, an area overlooking the backyard she claims for her afternoon painting sessions. And I hate to say it, but none of her finished pieces leave me wanting her to ask my opinion of them. Thankfully this never happens, and she's clearly lost in her own craftsmanship. Shortly after, she leads me up to the second level where my patient awaits. As we ascend the stairs, I keep glancing at the recently installed elevator. It is no doubt a sore sight to Miss Hayes' eyes, as its sharp corners stand in direct contrast to the rest of the interior architecture. We prepared a room for you next to hers, should she need your assistance at all during the night. I don't expect you to stay every single night, but once or twice a week as usual should more than suffice her to cover her needs. That shouldn't be a problem with my schedule. You don't have to ask me twice. Good. We approach what I assume to be Hannah's room. Miss Hayes gently knocks on the door. Hannah, your new nurse is here. What do you expect me to do? Jump with joy and answer the door for you? Forgive her. Some day she forgets herself. Curious as to how our introduction will commence, I watch as Miss Hayes opens the bedroom door, and inside I discover, well, simply put, what I can only describe as the most beautiful woman I ever crossed paths with. Bit gay then, Christine, bit gay. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold and gotta get through an hour of talking. Excuse me, that's sparkling water I'm having. Even with her dishevelled clothes and her hair in desperate need of a brushing, I am still stunned by what I see. Her green-blue eyes shine brightly behind strands of her brown hair. They're eyes that can look straight through you. Hannah remains seated upright in her bed as we enter the room. Her brief glance in our direction seems to show no interest in my arrival whatsoever. Hannah, this is Miss Adams. You can just call me Christine. How are you feeling? Like shit. Hannah, Doris. That's no way to behave in front of my nurse. Not like she's going to see our loving relationship sooner or later, Doris. Seeing that the two are about to descend into a yelling match within a matter of seconds, I quickly intervene. It's alright, Mrs. Hayes. I'll take it from here. Should I have any questions, I'll come find you. Yes, that sounds good. I'll leave it to you then. Recomposing herself, Mrs. Hayes promptly takes her leave. Once the door is shut, I turn my attention back towards my patient of natural radiance. Clearly I'm not privy to the complexity of their past, but one would have to be both blind and deaf not to notice the tension between them. Even then it would be hard to miss. After painting another masterpiece, no doubt. So, how long am I stuck with you for? I'm afraid I don't know. It could be a while before Claire is able to come back to work. Great, just great. I begin observing the layout of the room, familiaring myself with the space. I pick up some dirty clothes off the floor. We have a couple of hours before your scheduled physio session today. Is there anything you'd like to do before then? No. Well then, how about I prepare a bath for you? Before my physio, where I'm bound to sweat profusely? Yeah, I think I'll wait till after. Sure thing, I'll be there every step of the way to help. Hannah simply stares as I catch my slip up a little too late. Wow. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to offend you in any way. You come in here and the first thing you do is remind me of the fact that I can't walk. Oh wait, my mistake. The first thing you actually did was practically ask when you can see me naked. That's not what I was implying. I was simply proposing getting into the bathtub, Remy, that is all. I swear I'm not trying to. Relax, I'm just messing with you. What? It was a joke, you know. It's sad when I can say you need to get out more often. My failure to notice the jest leaves me feeling quite ridiculous. Yet part of me questions what would I say if she asked me to help with more than just preparing the tub. What's wrong with me? You should have seen your face. You're going to have to work on your humour if you want to last around here. I'll make note of that. Look, I just want you to be comfortable with me. That's all. So if at any point I do cross the line, I want you to tell me, although I'm getting the feeling that You speaking up isn't going to be a problem. Yeah. I don't think there's any line left for you to cross that I couldn't handle. And so, between navigating a delicate relationship between daughter and stepmother and maintaining a professional relationship with my patient, my day carries on like this. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's a task that at times proves difficult, but thankfully it's never overwhelming. And before I know it, the day's getting darker. Gaining Hannah's trust is a matter that will take a little time. My efforts are so far coming along at a snail's pace. It is progress, though. After jotting down my notes for the day, I look over the notes in the logbook Claire handed to Donna before Claire took her leave. The notes pertaining to her last day with Hannah reads as follows. Her session with the physiotherapist went well, but she still has a long way to go. Thankfully, she has a great sense of humour to help her out, though at times it's hard to tell when she's joking and when she's serious. It's clear that she's struggling with her recovery, even if she won't admit to me. Hopefully next time we meet, I can get through to her somehow, since she seems to enjoy my company. She misses her father, but for now I'm informed that he can't adjust his schedule anytime soon. Closing the logbook, I turn my gaze towards the edge of the back patio, where Hannah sits in her chair watching the sun dip on the horizon. My notes are not much different from Claire's, which of course don't include my first impression of her. Such a note would be highly inappropriate. She is struggling, but perhaps that can change. I could stay here for the night. Going back to my empty house isn't exactly something I look forward to, and Hannah's company is nice. She's smart, easy on the eyes. Stay for the night. Not wanting to go back home anytime soon. I informed Mrs. Hayes of my choice to stay at the manor for the night. It's an update she's pleased to hear. Right, I'm going to take a break now because I'm hungry, but I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Whew, had something to eat. Right, here we go. Not wanting to go back home anytime soon, I informed Miss Hayes of my choice to stay at the manor for the night. It's an update she's pleased to hear. I'm staying here for the night, so if there's anything you need help with, nah, I'm fine. Her reply is brief, but I decided to keep the conversation going. The sunset's really beautiful tonight, don't you think? Yeah. I used to go up that hill to see it better. She trails off, her gaze lowering with her legs, which no longer carry her up those hills. Don't give up on seeing that hill again someday. Personally, I'm betting on you. You're betting on me? Why? I haven't made any progress. Look, I read your file. You put in the work. As long as you keep doing that, there's a chance. Also, maybe there's a helpful piece you've been missing until now. What are you getting at? You need a motivational coach, someone like me. Go, Hannah, you got this. Keep it up, etc., etc. Hannah stares at me, unreadable, before finally bursting into laughter.
I approve.
You might need to polish those coaching skills, but you do make me laugh. This is only the beginning. The evening winds down, she types in her notebook, eventually drifting up to sleep early. The rest of the night is quiet and uneventful. There's a Marlon, prologue. The following day, I return to the office where I am informed a new client will be coming later in the afternoon. Yeah, save it here. Where's Donna? I wanted to talk to her about Hannah. Oh well. Nevertheless, I make preparations for the arrival of our incoming client, Marlon, a semi-pro MMA fighter recovering from a past knee injury. I don't know what to expect from such a woman, but I'm definitely not ready for the vixen who walks in the door. She's not much taller than me, and she has no problem displaying her set of perfect abs. She no doubt works tirelessly for the money. Donnie physio. I just moved here, and that place is not bad, but I don't feel like driving or taking transit just for an hour session. Fair enough. Now I should make medicine yesterday. Still a little sore. Determined not to give her a bad impression, I focused my attention solely on the a bit that was proving to be a difficult task. Looking at the box, I noticed that you stared at my abs when we entered the room, and now I'm sorry, I was just wondering about since taking my time to exercise for my Feels as though she'd want us inside now. I go and open the door. Liz is still patiently waiting outside, sitting in the chair. I wait to get her attention. What's inside? Liz immediately focuses on
What?
Alright, I'll play your little game, but know this. I'll get rid of my cave sooner than you think. She has no get a hold of yourself, Christine. Alright, Sturgis, do your job. I suppose you got to stick with another wink comes my way. Surely my cheeks turn red. Did I just agree to a date with her? It's when I'm going through nothing more than the symptoms of a rebound. Will these feelings, these desires ever cease? Or is this just the beginning of a new chapter in my life, one that I'm growing to like? What would people say? You hear about Christine? Her fiancé left her and she was so distraught over the affair that she announced all man and became a lesbian. Oh, you don't say, you don't say. Needless to say, I'm grateful to leave the office afterwards. I need some time alone to reflect and decide if I should go through with any of this. I've never been to a live fight before. It could be fun and, oh, who am I kidding? It felt amazing to endure such a trial and be gazed upon as such. I changed and head out of the clinic. What are you wearing? There's a long queue at the reception and I notice that Marlon is still here. Don't tell me the payment system broke again. Suddenly I see Liz approaching me quickly. This is the part where she slaps me and accuses me of stealing her girlfriend, but instead she waves and gives me a shy smile. Did she ask you out? Yes, but look, I don't know if I'll go. I don't want to interfere with your relationship. It's impossible to say no to her, isn't it? Oh really? Did you forget what happened back at the clinic? She insisted, but I turned her down. And yet, here you are, giving her your number. You should go. Trust me, you'll have a good time. Bye. Wait, yes? Why'd you let her call you pet? Wow, that's what I am. I should probably stay out of this. Yeah, definitely best to stay out of it. After all, they're adults. They can do what they want with their lives and their bodies still. She's not here, you can be honest with me. What do you mean? I see how much influence she has over you. Maybe you like it. I do. I'm no expert on this whole dominant and submissive thing, but I feel like she should treat you, I don't know, her. Like she cares about you a little more.
Anything for you.
She sounds English. Liz pauses, expression thoughtful, before he shyly waves her hand and walks away. And with that, she leaves me standing there, totally bewildered. This is really weird. God, I'm a fucking mess. And so, all my thoughts in an endless cycle on I drive home. The only moments of silence seem to be enough for me, a short respite before starting all over again. Unfortunately, I find no solid answer to my dilemma by the time I park my car and enter my apartment. Setting my purse down on the kitchen table, I stare at my phone nestled within amongst my belongings, wondering when the call will finally come, and if I will answer it once it does. A few hours pass, during which I make myself dinner, enough for a healthy serving plus some leftovers. I eat by the window. Outside it's already starting to get dark. Part of me feels relieved, while the other begins to long for the call I'm certain now isn't going to happen. Why does it matter so much? She's probably arguing with Liz right now, even though she seemed genuinely happy about our date. I feel like I'm starting to understand less and less. Are they a couple or not? And now that I think about it, did Marlon ask me to call for Liz just so she could watch when she had me show off my abs? She must have planned that on purpose, but why? Are they in a sort of open relationship? I have to admit my experiences in relationships are limited. I started to think back to Eric, my ex-boyfriend. Things with him felt simple, predictable. He was my first real relationship, one I thought would last. But even then, there were moments when I felt I wasn't completely myself. I always wondered if I wanted something more, or maybe something different. In college, I did have a few experiences that made me question things further. I kissed a couple of girls at parties. I found a mixture of curiosity, excitement, and maybe a hint of something I didn't quite understand. But I never let it go any further. Part of me was worried that exploring it seriously would change something in me that I wasn't ready to face. And now being around Hannah, Marlon, and Liz, maybe all those feelings are resurfacing. Is that why I feel so conflicted or even a little drawn to them? I've never really figured out what I want in a relationship, especially anything that isn't conventional, but maybe it's time to really think about it. Am I missing something about myself, or is this just a passing feeling? I don't know. All I know is that being around them brings back doubts I thought I'd left behind. Suddenly the phone lights up in the kitchen in a white blaze, as I had barely turned on any of the lights beforehand, instead allowing the room to get darker as the night approached. I gaze at the number. It's one I don't recognise. Is it her? Do I answer? Come on, Christine. It can't be her or anyone. It can't be her or anyone. Just answer that damn phone. Hello? Hey, did you miss me? My heart begins to race in my chest the moment I hear her voice spilling through online. Maybe. Ha, you're not that good at bluffing, dear. So should we start the night? It isn't until later, much later, that we finally come to the subject of our arrangements for the match on Saturday. By the time the call comes to an end, I realise I've never been more excited for a date in my entire life. First Kiss. Chapter 1. First Kiss. Luckily, my time at the manor has been meeting the satisfaction of both Miss Hayes and my boss Donna. The stepmother tends to be either painting or on the phone, always with a glass of wine in hand. Whatever I'm doing, apparently doing it right, since she hasn't felt the need to replace me. Also, she seems to have nothing but praise whenever she speaks for my boss. While I should be pleased I'm maintaining the peace, I feel like I've failed to bring any notable change to Hannah's life. She's kept up with her physio sessions, but it seems she's stuck on some plateau, some obstacle she won't admit exists. I understand she used to visit a therapist once a week, but she stopped some time ago. Despite how our interaction went, I'm slowly gaining her trust by helping her with simple things such as dressing and cleaning. I'm happy to say that her humour has remained intact and that I'm beginning to understand the subterfuge form of expression sometimes. As much as I'm excited for my date night with Marlon this Saturday, I need to focus on Hannah right now. What do you do outside of work? Her question surprises me since she's never asked anything more personal than how was your week. Well, not much these days. I'm either here or at home. You live in an apartment, nice neighbourhood? Yes. Well, tell me more. You live up high near a park with your boyfriend? No, I mean, I do live on the 14th floor, so I suppose that's considered high. There's no park, though, and no boyfriend. So what do you do when you're at home? Please tell me. It's Netflix. Well, lack of an answer says more than I ever could. Wow, congratulations. You're officially the most white woman in Toronto. The only thing you're missing is a stack of newspapers and a couple dozen cats to transfer into the next phase of your life. She starts laughing at the thought she has conjured up in her imagination. Come on, Chris, that's funny. Alright, what did I say that upset you? Nothing. It wasn't anything you said. The truth is, I just like thinking of home these days, that's all. Why? Because I used to have a boyfriend, actually he was my fiancé. What happened? I came home early one day. It was the weekend following our 2-year anniversary. He's an investor and does a lot of work at home on his computer. I thought it would be fun to surprise him on leaving or to ourselves, only it wasn't our own. A while, and who I thought was my best friend tried to explain themselves, kept saying, "We never meant to hurt you, it just happened," usual bullshit. Apparently they've been seeing each other for the past year. Damn, I would have been so pissed. I was so angry, I couldn't think straight, couldn't think of what to do. So I left and moved into town. You still see him? Eventually I answered all his calls and went back to grab some stuff from the old place, but you haven't seen him since then. No, I haven't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. It's okay, you didn't know. Still, it's a lot to deal with. I'll be fine, don't worry about me. Now let's get you inside and do your exercises. Help wheel Hannah back into the manor before heading towards the elevator. Why don't you spend some more time here then? What? You practically live here anyway. Why not spend another night or two? Is that what you want? No, I hate your guts. I thought I'd torture myself with your company a bit longer. She starts laughing as we leave the elevator into a room. It's a laugh that proves to be quite infectious. Well, in that case, I'll notify your stepmother of my change of schedule. Great, let my punishment begin. I laughed a little more than last time, enjoying the sight of Harrow's smile. After relaxing with her exercises, I perused over Hannah's record collection while she relaxes in the bath. A lot of the bands in her collection of modern groups have no income whatsoever. I think she's mainly into intellectual rock punk. Genres are very limited, so guess I shouldn't be surprised she'll have a record collection. Spends so much time on her as well. After a couple of failed attempts on my part, I eventually succeed in lighting some kindling in the fire. Afterwards we sit and talk as the stars start to populate the darkening skies above. So where do we go? I'm thinking tomorrow could work. How does that sound? Works for me. It's just us going, right? I turn my gaze towards the manor, making sure stepmother is inside, attending to her paintings. Catching sight of the wall and pacing back and forth with her phone in hand assures me I am free to speak openly. Yes, I think Mrs. Hayes would rather spend some valuable alone time here. She can have all the time she wants. I ain't stopping her. We both laugh as the fire crackles before us. It reminds me of a funny camping video I wanted to show her, but Hannah insists that we enjoy the moment and resist the urge to look at our phones. So, I finally get to see you in a skirt. A skirt? Yes, unless you prefer to go out in your new nurse uniform. I can already imagine you sipping a cocktail in it. Quite the sight. Stop it. I don't get why you always wear that nurse outfit, even when we're alone. I'm struggling to respond because my mind keeps drifting back to her comment. She wants to see me in a skirt? Why? Just curiosity or something more? Well then, a skirt it is. More minutes pass and we stay there looking at the starry sky and listening to the blissful sounds of crickets. So peaceful out here. Yeah, it is. You can practically see practically every single star there is. When was the last time you did this? I'm not sure. Maybe a year and a half before the accident. Me and my father had come out here often. Him and Doris were only engaged at the time, and she still had her own place to go where she would stay at. I was still trying to decide which college I wanted to go to. Did you ever pick one? Hannah shook her head. No, I decided to take a couple of years off, make some travelling plans and all that. Where would you have gone to? The usual destinations: London, Paris, Spain, Italy, maybe even Australia. I'd see as much of the world as possible. You can still go to any of them, you know. Yeah, as long as they're wheelchair accessible. I'm being serious. The world doesn't have to end at your backyard. I know. The fire has mitigated to a collection of burning embers by the time we decide to go back inside. I douse the pit with a bucket of water and listen as it hisses and pots before me. You're trying to convince me to go travelling so you can tag along. Well, I could use a vacation, extensive one of that. In all our time together, I don't think I've ever heard Hannah laugh so hard before. And the truth finally comes out. Heck, why not? We'll take photos of everywhere we go and make sure your ex-fiancé and best friend see all the shit you get to see without dragging you down. I could live with that. Although, you know, I think from now on I'm going to be cutting off ties with all men when it comes to dating. Only women for me. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I hear it's quite nice. I laugh at my second attempt at humour, but I'm surprised to find I'm alone in the joke. Shortly after my laughter fades, I watch as Hannah's countenance changes from playful demeanour to one of more of a serious tone. Hannah, you okay? Yeah, actually it's something I want to tell you. I approach her and sit down close to her, trying to do all I can to make her feel safe. Go ahead, I'm listening. She turns her chair around and looks directly at me, her lips displaying a half smile as she searches for the exact words. Christine, I'm attracted to women. I'm a lesbian. At first, I think she might be trying to spring another joke on me, but I quickly realise that she's being honest. I have broken through and reached a new level of trust, only it is one that I'm not prepared for. Am I the first person you've told? Hannah answered my question with nothing more than a simple nod. How do I handle this? What do I say? My father doesn't know, nor does my stepmother, though to be honest I'd rather tell anyone else over her. I gently reach out and grab her hand. It's okay, I won't tell anyone till you're ready. Thank you. When did you figure it out? When I was 14, there was this new girl in my school. She performed at the school's talent show. Her name was Alex Winters. She played her guitar and sang this song she wrote. I couldn't tell you about everyone who participated in the show, but I remember her. She had beautiful blonde eyes, blonde hair, and these little dimples that appeared whenever she smiled. I couldn't stop thinking of her. Did you ever tell her how you felt? No, I was too shy back then. Never knew what to say and how to act. Didn't matter. She ended up dating Gary Callaghan. I think they're still together. You'll find someone who's right for you. It'll happen. You'll see. A moment of silence falls between us. I think I might have done the right thing, but then Hannah leans a little closer in an effort to become more intimate, in an effort to kiss me. Oh, Jesus Christ. I instinctively pull back, surprised and embarrassed all at the same
Really?
time. I look at her with my mouth open, but no words are coming out of it. Talk, say something. Christine. Hannah, I'm not a lesbian. What I said earlier, I was only joking about dating other women. I'm sorry, I don't share the same feelings, Hannah. Are you okay? I didn't mean. My response clearly upset her, and she immediately pulls away from me. No, it's fine. Hannah, it's okay. It just doesn't change anything if that's what you're worried about. You know you can trust me. You do know that, don't you? The silence leaves me sitting here with no idea how to fix this. Then after what feels like an eternity, she finally speaks. Yeah, sort of thing, that's just perfect. I'm glad to just share my feelings and a very personal story with you, and I can trust you to sympathise with me while I sit here with a pair of legs I can't fucking use. Because other than that, what else do I have to complain about in my life? Shit, what have I done? Hannah, I didn't mean to upset you. This isn't what to say. I just told you I'm perfectly fine. In fact, I'm doing so damn well that I think I'd rather be alone tonight. Are you asking me to leave? You catch on quick. But just in case, let me make it simple for you. Yeah, I am. And you know what? Forget about the trip into the city. I'd rather just stay here than go anywhere with you. Hannah, let's just take a moment to... I don't want another minute of your trust. A woman's gotta learn to be independent these days, right? No point keeping you around here any longer than you need it to be. Ooh. I can tell there's no getting through to her in this moment. So I get up and leave. I make up an excuse about an early appointment the following morning to Mrs. Hayes before collecting my stuff and starting my vehicle. I drive back to my apartment. The drive back to my apartment feels like it will never end, and by the time I get home it's midnight. Eric no longer occupies any space in my mind, but I can't bring myself to fill the void with anything else as a means of moving on. No, my time with Hannah was what I needed to help forget the past. She'd been my means of moving on, and now will I lose that as well? Will I lose the trust, the bond between us? I can't stop thinking about the way I feel around her. How would it feel if I got the call that I no longer wanted tomorrow? What then? When she tried to kiss me and I said all those things, was I being truthful? I keep telling myself I'm fond of her because she's my patient, but that's not the whole story. If I'm not attracted to women, then why do I miss her so much? Why am I excited about my date with Marla next Saturday? Oh God, I'm a mess. I don't know what's going on with me. I can barely sleep throughout the night. I end up tossing and turning before sitting upright, expecting to find the fixtures of the guest room, only to be then reminded where I truly am. Alone in a place I can no longer call home, unable to talk to someone I care about, the one I'm drawn to, the one I think might be more than just a friend. The Affair, Chapter 2. God, I hope I didn't end this again. After very little sleep, I wake up early next day to a rather unusual event. My boss calling me. At first, I think Mrs. Hayes has made a complaint on behalf of her stepdaughter, and that I'll have to explain myself. Preparing for such a conversation in my drowsy state, I answer the phone. Hello? Christine, I'm sorry to call you so early. Did I wake you? No, it's no problem. I was just getting up anyway. What's going on? I'm calling you to let you know that you won't be needed at Hayes' home for the next week. Is everything okay? Please don't tell me that Hannah would rather stop her therapy than see me again. Yes. Mr. Hayes surprised his family with an unexpected visit between his meetings. He just left me a message saying some time alone with family would be nice. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm sure Hannah and Mrs. Hayes are loving the surprise. Yeah, I think so. Well, since our other clients are covered, you can have the rest of the day off if you'd like. Are you sure? Yes, go and enjoy your day. I'll keep you updated should anything change. Well, thank you. Sorry, I gotta go. I'll keep in touch. And before I can say bye, she's already hung up. What do I do now? Maybe I should call Hannah and check in on her. If I can just explain myself, but could I even do that? Could I explain what I'm experiencing, how I feel, what and who I am? I laid my phone down on the nightstand, convincing myself to let it be. Let her have some time to herself and some time with her father. Then when the week is done, we can talk again. I mean, if she doesn't want to see me, I imagine that phone call from Donna would have gone quite differently. After lying in bed for a few minutes more, I chose to forgo any further attempts to rest. I proceeded with an early run through the park, followed shortly with a shower and a simple breakfast back at my empty apartment. Yet even with such a productive morning, I barely dig into the omelette resting on my plate. Now, Christine, what to do with the rest of your day? The question stares at me like a startled kitten, anxiously waiting for an answer to reveal itself. Maybe a movie, another trip through the park, the museum. Anything's possible. Just pick one already and get out of here. I can't decide. And so, unable to make up my mind, I simply rise from my seat, grab my purse, and walk out the door. In the end, I said instead going into the city. I have no destination line. Half the time I go around the corner, making sure I will trace my steps. It's all just aimless wanderings designed to distract me from my thoughts. Does it work? Not really. By the time I'm bothered to soak in the elements of my whether my unconscious mind intended it or not, and now stand outside the mall closest to my apartment. Please don't hurry up from the church and tell me the exact moment I hop on board the train, as this particular neighbourhood I will take only after discovering the ticket in my coat pocket do I partially relax, restoring myself that I'm not going crazy. My internal affirmation is quickly set aside as my stomach begins to growl. Really? Now you're hungry? The slight absurdity of my morning finally breaks me out of my stupor as I begin to chuckle at how ridiculous I must look. Once free from my personal jest, I step inside, choosing the direct path to the nearest food court. There I sit and eat in silence for the next hour, fully enjoying the presence of my reality. Afterwards, I'm determined to seek out a second-hand bookstore, only a couple of blocks away, as if they have my own positive during my college days. What better way to distract myself than with a good book? Setting foot outside, I took my luggage to go immersing myself as the smell of hundreds of novels has drawn away from the school. But alas, I only take a couple of steps towards my new pursuit before I stumble upon my usual scenario. There, sitting in her car, barefoot away is my boss. What's going on today? Throughout the story, there are clear traces of a bleak change the course of the story. In this case, hiding from the door. Don't want to make you skip a bit. You saw if you were playing a game or interest. I don't want to approach it directly because to see what she's doing as I stands in the paper she raises my trying to re-establish some form of normalcy after on the smart right to try myself. That's where I slides down Christine, fancy being here now. Yeah, it's kind of funny actually. Well, no, but it better to say you're funny. Is everything alright? Staring off at me while high rise, she seems lost in thought, causing me to question what she glances. Why'd you ask? Response carries none of my usual charm. I feel sharp as if I need to be cautious with my words. I was just checking up on you. I'm sorry, I'll leave it there. Turning around and start walking away from lunch to a wonder nothing has been some distance between us, Christine. I freeze mid-stride, hesitation taking hold as Donna calls after me. I'm sorry, can we talk just for a moment? Shit, I turn to face her again, sure of what to expect. Please, I just need someone to talk to. She gestures towards the passenger door. Her expression softens from the words I've never seen before. Feeling sorry for her, I accept the realization. Before long, I'm sitting next to my box in my meditation and still walking. Taking her to my room, she's not in her usual office attire. Rather, she's next to me, beautifully accentuated curves. I knew she looked good, but she's absolutely breathtaking. His focus was down focus. Things are rather complicated. What's been bothering you? It's my husband. I think he's having an affair. My heart sinks synchronously back into the working to tell myself about his trend, a place I don't want to revisit. What can I do except listen, sit and listen? He's been acting strangely, always going down to spend time with his friends after work, or so he claims. And even when he eventually does come home, he never. He's always tired and he never wants to spend time with you. I don't know what to do. So I started following him. What? I know, that sounds. If you really think he's having an affair, then why not hire a private investigator? Because it's no one else's business. This isn't embarrassing. I would deal with it on my own terms. I need to. Promise me you won't tell him. Okay, I promise. Thank you. Would you like some company? Because I know how it feels to be chosen. Donna's expression stress and shifts to one of confusion. She reaches over and holds my hand. Until she's a couple fella, I don't want to let go of. Eric and I are no longer together. I'm so sorry. No one at work does. I wasn't ready to talk about it. I only even found out more than 3 months. And nothing. Sometimes he's with his friends. There was one night where I lost track of him though, so I don't know where he wound up then. When does he get off work? It's hard to say. Sometimes he works late hours. Look, if you're right, then the truth will reveal itself one way or another. But for now, how about we get out of here and go grab a drink or something? Looks like a house.